The United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly condemned Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine on its third anniversary, with a resolution drafted by Ukraine and the European Union garnering 93 votes in favor. This starkly contrasted with a rival resolution proposed by the United States, reflecting the significant shift in U.S. foreign policy under President Donald Trump. A shift characterized by a departure from traditional European alliances and a growing rapprochement with Vladimir Putin. The divergence in approach highlighted a deep fissure within the international community. The EU-Ukrainian resolution, explicitly naming Russia as an aggressor and demanding the withdrawal of its troops from Ukrainian territory, secured a resounding majority. However, a significant bloc of 18 nations, including the United States, Russia, Belarus, and North Korea, voted against the resolution. This vote underscored the profound implications of the Trump administration's altered foreign policy, which has largely absolved Putin of responsibility for the invasion, a stark contrast to the previous administration's stance. The dissenting votes represent a powerful counter-narrative to the overwhelming international consensus condemning Russia's actions. The contrasting approaches taken by the U.S. and its European allies were further emphasized by a meeting between President Trump and French President Emmanuel Macron at the White House. Their discussions, which also involved G7 leaders, focused on potential peace negotiations to end the conflict and address the widening chasm between Washington and European capitals over the future of NATO. The escalating tensions within the alliance were palpable. German politician Friedrich Merz, a likely future chancellor, underscored this concern, advocating for Europe's increased independence from the United States, emphasizing the critical need for a strengthened and self-reliant Europe. Macron, while acknowledging the G7 call as perfect, offered few specifics regarding the ongoing diplomatic efforts. Meanwhile, President Trump issued a statement asserting that all G7 members desired peace, claiming the war would have been averted had he remained in office. His administration's approach has notably involved direct negotiations with Putin, bypassing Ukraine and focusing instead on securing a lucrative, critical minerals and rare earths deal with Russia to offset the cost of previous U.S. aid to Ukraine. This transactional approach has raised considerable eyebrows among allies concerned about the potential normalization of Russia's aggressive behavior. Trump's public pronouncements further underscored this shift. He announced ongoing, serious discussions with Putin regarding both the war's conclusion and significant economic transactions between the U.S. and Russia, expressing optimism about the progress of these talks. The implications of such direct engagement with Putin, without the involvement of Ukraine, continue to spark intense debate and concern within the international community. The State Department, in background briefings, revealed simultaneous discussions with the UK and France concerning a UN Security Council resolution calling for peace. This resolution, however, has been largely dismissed by Ukraine and European nations as an attempt to downplay the severity of Russia's invasion and absolve it of responsibility for its actions. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, in a statement, reiterated President Trump's commitment to ending the conflict and achieving a lasting peace, promoting a seemingly simple UN resolution aimed at charting a path towards peace. However, the contrasting approaches taken by the U.S. and its allies, evidenced by the UN vote, raise serious questions about the efficacy and potential unintended consequences of the Trump administration's revised foreign policy. The deep divisions within the international community over how to address the conflict in Ukraine remain a critical concern. The long-term ramifications of the U.S. policy shift under the Trump administration, particularly its impact on the transatlantic alliance and the broader international order, remain to be seen. The significant divergence in approach between the U.S. and its European allies concerning the handling of the Ukraine conflict represents a watershed moment in international relations, with potentially far-reaching consequences for global stability and security. The strategic implications of this shift in U.S. foreign policy necessitate careful consideration and analysis by policymakers and international observers alike. The potential for further escalation and the risks associated with the ongoing rapprochement between the U.S. and Russia under the Trump administration underscore the urgency of resolving this complex and multifaceted situation.